Shit, Dexter. You canceled your own show.
Dexter!
Hello, my
Could've
friend
sounded like
Dexter.
Dexter.
Who?
Dexter.
Blessing.
You betrayed me.
Oh, your blessing will sound like Sagora, like a happy one, like Dexter.
I'm still a
Your
little
dick
sick.
is on my blood slide. You just look at the blood size. Dexter's just like a Sagra imprint. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Dexter Resurrection, Episode 8. I don't know what I am, because that's my name from Peacemaker.
Peacemaker.
I am you like Justice Dad, Travis Snell, and I'm joined by
Nice. I'm the pantyhoser, Kirkland Panzer.
I'm the Wiggs Taylorfield.
Weeks. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are here talking about Dexter. We're coming around the corner here. We penultimates next week. We, in our non-spoilers, we're probably going to talk about first action because we don't have news next week and it kind of ties in here. We are, thought we'd be talking more about Dexter, but we're going to talk a little less about Dexter than we thought coming up next year, the next couple of years. But go down below for everything you need to know. We were just talking about Peacemaker. We reviewed that last night. We're reviewing Alien Earth every week. Soon Taylor and I will be doing Gen V. And then there's a bunch of stuff coming up. There's some movies. There's, Strangers Chapter 2, boys. It's happening like in a month or so. You got other stuff going on. But yeah, lots of good stuff. Newscast, side quest. D23 is next weekend, so look out for that. So yeah, you just want to subscribe to any feed. We're on a bunch of platforms. Apple, Spotify, a bunch for video. We're on Twitter now. We're on Kick. So if you prefer those for some reason, we're there. You can join us. But yeah, lots of good stuff happening in Geek. So we appreciate the support. As always, this month has been another good month. Kicked off great with GV Day, but just continually has been good. So thank you very much. But yeah, we'll be here for the next two episodes of Dexter. Let's talk about this quickly. Taylor Field, I'm gonna start with you. So today it was announced, obviously you guys did all of Dexter Original Sin, which you can go back and all the reviews are there. I was on the last two, and everything is looking good. And I guess let me pull it up here because I shared this statistic, or I had this statistic. Give me 1 second. The cancellation of the show is very surprising. So that's what was announced today, where in April, after the show had ended, they announced, hey, Dexter Original Sin Season 2, here it comes. Obviously, they, there's a Trinity show, which we'll talk about, but Dexter Original Sin set records for Showtime and was their most streamed premiere ever at the time. The finale had more viewers than the premiere, and it became Showtime's most streamed series in a decade. That's Dexter Original Sin, obviously for a new series, because Dexter kind of beats it all the time, but still very successful. I'm not sure even what it was critically. I feel like critically it did decently. I don't think people were as mad about it as me, but Dexter Original Sin, let me just even go to Rotten Tomatoes. It was pulling a 70, so that's a pretty good score there. Well, not 70-80%, but yeah, they or 78% for the audience, but yeah, then they announced today that no, they are canceling it. There's a few things cited as far as, if people don't know, Paramount has some new leadership right now. So I think you guys actually a couple weeks ago on a newscast covered all these changes and things Paramount's doing. Well, here's a new thing they're doing, where they looked at it and they said they just want the focus to be on Michael C. Hall and this Dexter, and they're going to no longer go forward. As of right now, like I said, there's no word on the Trinity thing, if that's still happening. That was announced, but I'm gonna I don't know, unless it's a 3-episode miniseries, I'm gonna lean on the side that I don't think we're gonna see that. But yeah, Taylor, what are your thoughts on some of this, with some of the changes that even though it does some great numbers for Showtime and whatnot, they go, oh, you know what, it's best just let's part ways with this, and we'll just. And in this report, it did say that a season 2 writers' room was open for Dexter Resurrection. So that does not mean that it has officially been renewed, but at least they're kicking around the tires, what could season 2 be? And I think it's going to be, because I think that's the prime line Dexter. But yeah, what were your thoughts on this before we get into this episode? Because this was some big news that came out today. So
Yeah, it's something that I would have been curious, of course. They put out a season 2 of Dexter Original Sin. I would have watched it, and I'm sure they would have hooked me, because Dexter always has a way of pulling that off and kind of hooking me in with the way it does its cliffhangers and its stories and debacles. So there's that. But I'm not necessarily losing sleep over this either. I mean, season 1 was a retelling of the story we already knew, but just more boots on the ground. Here it is in your face. We're going to present everything from point A to Z. Well, just what happened at this point of time. And they added a lot of extra stuff in there too that again we didn't know about, like the whole Brian Moser thing and such. But
Some things we didn't need to know about, you know.
that's right. Yeah, some things we
I
didn't need to know
about that
but-
rooftop kill. That brutal
No,
chainsaw
definitely not.
rooftop kill.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm not upset by this at all, and I think it's great that okay, this is gonna end, and we can just see it continue off when you literally skip to the first season of Dexter. You're not missing anything, but it was a fun ride while it lasted, and I just feel bad for the actors and actresses because they were all super energetic and passionate about about being a part of the franchise and
You're
bringing
sad
those
for all of
characters
them?
to life. I'm sad for all of them, yeah, especially the guy who plays young Batista, the La Passion.
Well, I thought you were gonna say the guy who
Just-
plays young Harry. You know.
Young Harry.
Yeah.
Our
We
thumbnail,
have a
man.
young Harry in that show.
Yeah, Slater.
I know.
He's sticking around, so I'm not upset about him. He's going to be popping around Geekverse for quite some time.
I just remember when I was off on pat leave, and I just hear Tab like, yeah, and like he's just like a 1-to-1 to the Harry in the show, and I was just losing my mind. I was ready to come back that night. Like, you've
That's
not
you
seen
looking at
Dexter in
the-
very little.
when you were watching this podcast. That was you.
100%. And then, yeah, I was, what was this? I was just,
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
R.I.P. R.I.P. to Dexter Original Sin, because you know what? No matter what, it gave us.
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
In 5 years from now, when no one's talking about Dexter Original Sin, we will be talking about Original Sin because we have the great Patrick Dempsey, who, you know, minor spoilers, we saw tonight, which was great. He had a quick
That's
little,
true,
we saw a
that's
photo
true.
of him. So, you know, that's good. Did you miss that, Kirkland?
I definitely missed that. Yeah.
It's when Bee Gees cop, she was like going through some like Dexter researching and she's flipping through
I
files.
found like some
and
footage of the guy's house.
I'm gonna fucking kill you!
From that perspective.
Yeah.
yeah.
In the
Hey,
house.
don't. Some fucking movies and shows do that. They'll be like, "Look, we got this scene from the client." It's like the movie scene. It's like, fuck off. Like, do something else, you know. But yeah. So, and Taylor, do you think Trinity see the light stay, or you think that's gonna be done so as well?
I think we're gonna see it once Jonah appears in this show. They're gonna go full steam ahead and be like, yeah, Trinity, let's do it.
What about you, Kirkland? How do you take all this news?
I'm a little sad by it. I enjoyed the show while I was watching it. It was until after the fact that I put that show down, rewatched Dexter, that I started to have some issues on just like the continuity wise of things and how they're changing some things, and even just jumping, you know, of course, from the Christian Slater performance to the James Remar. It's a very different feel of the character. Now, I think the better version is the James Remar version, but part of me still really enjoyed like just watching the screen, you know, with Christian Slater being on and just with the Miami Vice hairdo and like what the fuck is gonna happen now? Like what other skeletons in this Harry's closet are we gonna be
More
unfolding in the
kids that he
show?
kill.
So yeah, like part of me is a little bit sad that we're not going to be, you know, going down, because like just review wise, like that's always fun, you know. Like we got this great video that's just going to be living
Yes.
on in the GV meme. So like all of that potential for another season, like those moments, I'm a little bit sad that I'm going to be missing out on it. I feel like anytime a new Dexter type show comes out, I'm like, okay, what's going to be like the Kurt of this show, you know, or the Patrick Dempsey meme of this season. I feel like every show kind of has one or two of those moments. I feel like the Resurrection hasn't been anything too standouty. Like there's the Bee Gees cop, but like I don't really love that. Like it's not funny
No.
to me, you know. Like if that hit, maybe that would have been the meme, but who knows. So yeah, and then on the other side of it, like actually looking at it like critically, like I think I agree with Taylor where all the actors did a solid job. Maybe most of the actors, I should say. I should rewind that a little bit.
Got some rose tinted glasses here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
But just like the main guy that did Dexter, or like the actress that did Deb, like I thought they were like so solid like throughout the entire season. And even in like there's some really juicy Deb stuff that we got into on the prequel stuff that on like I guess would have been limiting because we know what happens to that character. That's the issue with the prequel stuff. So at the end of the day, because it is a prequel, I feel like that helps soften the blow a little bit. Even though in hindsight I didn't love a lot of the stuff that they did in that show. I'm mostly just speaking to when I was doing my rewatch of Dexter there, but I don't know. I had some fun with it. So yeah, and I'm curious how much that word's coming up a lot tonight, but I'm super curious how much this is affected by like maybe just Michael C. Hall's inclusion in the Dexter mythos and just
He put the garbage on it.
well, yeah, like were the plans to do like more seasons of Original Sin, thinking that Michael C. Hall wouldn't want to be like boots on the ground, like okay, I'll do a couple narrations here and there, or do we
Yeah.
already know that we're going to be getting it's like the Disney slate of the Dexter?
So you're saying if
MCU
Dexter
universe.
stays dead in like the Prime universe, Original Sin probably carries on, right?
Yeah, like
I
if Michael
agree.
C. Hall didn't want to come back and like
Yeah.
fucking wrestle Ghost James Remar, like
'Cause
we've
that's all
had
you can
a couple
do,
times in the
right?
show. Yeah, exactly. But
Well,
like
there-
he's doing this now. It's like fuck. I'm
Yeah.
still in my prime, boys. We could do 10 more seasons of this. They're like, okay, we're gonna cancel the Original Sin show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, Patrick Gibson. Send your mad fan mail to Michael C. Hall, who brought you donuts and stuff. So
I would love if they just do ghost versions of all these characters that I'm gonna miss. Like even like Ghost. I'm still pushing for Ghost Kurt, but Ghost,
Ghost Kurt, yeah.
Patrick Dempsey, or I guess he wouldn't be a ghost. With
But he
what's-
is. He's dead.
Yeah, but what's the ghost? Or sorry, what's the actor that plays young Dexter? It's Patrick something, isn't
Oh,
it?
Patrick Gibson. Yeah. I see
It is
what you
Patrick
mean.
Gibson?
Yeah, it is Patrick Gibson. There's Patrick Dempsey. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was intertwining those names.
Yeah.
Just ghost versions
The
of
new
all those
Bond.
characters. That'd be
Yeah.
great. Little Dad.
Wanted to bring up the weekly. I think I forgot to do this last week, but here's Taylor's thumbnail this week of Ghost Young Harry.
Not
being,
bad, eh?
I love it.
in there, yeah. So he will live on.
Pantyhose.
You
Look at that
fucking
angle.
face.
You have a big issue with the pantyhose. Like, okay, he didn't use pantyhose in season 1, but do you remember that in season 1 where one time he did a kill with his face entirely wrapped in plastic and his face was like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
so
was just like okay. I'll wait for
Okay.
spoilers.
Yeah, for me, it's funny because the way when Kirkland says, "Oh, like you got Kurt and you got the Patrick Dempsey," which I think the only thing it's not like the whole character was like that. It was literally just that clip at the end where he has this whole plan, and then the last 5 minutes of the finale, he just decides like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," and he just goes ham on his wife, and none of it makes sense anymore. For me, when Kirkland's like, "Oh, but then we got like this season when we have like the Bee Gees Cup," but I don't really enjoy that. That was just me for all of Original Sin, right? Where it's like I'm just not enjoying this because I obviously was only on 2 of those reviews, but in the Discord and those last 2 episodes, I tried to stress that like I did not enjoy a lot of the additions. I think you guys said like there's a couple. I definitely Deb was the best. I think Gibson grew into the role, even though I don't think he fully got there. I think I always said like when he was in the kill room, he didn't have that same that gear that Michael C. Hall does. I think he was good at playing like the awkward, pretending to be a normal guy Dexter, but when it came down to kill, I just didn't buy the Dark Passenger was brewing in that guy, where Michael C. Hall still has that, right? Also, he's been doing it for many years, but you watch that first season, you can believe it right away. So, maybe we could see these characters again in flashbacks, because they did that a couple weeks ago where they showed Dexter's first kills from that show. They showed Patrick Dempsey in this show. So I would like it if they do a flashback or they talk about the story, and you could, I don't need Christian Slater back. I like Christian Slater. I think he was just terribly miscast as Harry. But like Dexter or Deb, like that could be a fun way to
No,
bring some...
next time you get them, they're gonna be this for sure.
No, you can't put Michael C. Hall in that wig anymore. Like I would like that if anytime they do flashbacks, you use that cast now. But yeah, I think it's like what Kirkland said. I think because this has been a hit, and I also think there's, I guess to curtail my thoughts, it's like, yeah, and the Brian Moser stuff, I really didn't like. Like, there's tons of stuff that was breaking canon or just on the lines of, hey. At that point, it's like the Star Wars thing where I'm like, just remake it then. Just say, hey, we're starting Dexter over, but we want to start with him right out of college. I don't like when it's like, oh, well, there's this and there's this, but then none of them make sense. It's like, that to me just shows people being lazy. I hate it when they do in Star Wars. I hate it when Marvel and DC, and I hate in Dexter, where it's like, especially with Dexter, it's like the show's right there. And Star Wars, sometimes I get it's harder. Dexter's 8 seasons, and it's the original people back. It's like Clyde Phillips had something to do with the original Sin. So it's like all of the crew's there. You watch season 1 and say, oh, look, we just can't do this, and this.
Do
Pretty
you hate
simple.
that with every IP or just those ones?
I think the ones I care about, because like if it happens somewhere else, I'll be like, oh, that sucks, but like it doesn't hurt me. I think the big ones, especially for Star Wars, when they said everything's canon, and the MCU where it's like so interconnected, when they do it, that's when it hurts. But that's what I mean. Like many franchises really don't, like they do that, but it's just they're not so interconnected. And hopefully we talk about in Peacemaker where they changed some things, but it's a new universe, and we hope that now the guy running it's going to have a clear vision. So it's just, to me, it just feels like it's always, oh, we can't do that because X, Y, and Z. And it's like, well, whatever. As much as I like Andor, they did that, right, with K2SO. So I digress. I do not like the show. I don't think the show was a good show. I think there's only a few performances that saved it. And I think at least though it works as like a solid just one season if you like the show, because it does end with fucking Brian Moser just staring at the Morgans through a glass. And you can just be like, well, that's where it ends. And the next time you pick up is 20 years, 15 years later when he's after Dexter, right? Because to me, that was me and Kirk when we talked about the finale. Like, okay, if Brian Moser's just around all the time, what the hell are they going to do? Like, he already was like trying to fucking drown Deb and all this. Like, we're getting into really like odd territory, right? And then for the show, yeah, I also think the other thing is, so it's like focus on the Hall stuff. And in that sense, I think it's like, we talked about this with the MCU recent, like many years, but more recently, right? Of like now they're like not doing as many shows, and same thing with Star Wars, not as many shows, and MCU they're going to try and go back to 2 movies a year. I don't think Dexter's obviously the same with 3 shows, but I do think there could be a amount where someone's like, are we going to like over fatigue people as character? Like, what's the better version of Dexter as an IP? The Resurrection of Michael C. Hall just doing his thing, or Resurrection and Original Blood and Trinity? Like, then you start to feel like, and Taylor, I know you like your Yellowstone things, but it gets comedic when you can't even name like the name of the new one, right? And that's where I just feel like Dexter New Blood, Dexter Resurrection, Dexter Original Sin, Dexter Trinity. It's like, is there going to become a point where people finally look and go, and like also Yellowstone, that's not happening, but we've seen with other brands, right? And was that the worry maybe with Dexter, where it's like, people are going to like they're going to get bored on this, and then it's just going to kill kind of everything. So let's just put our investment into that. And then also the other thing is, I get it, because there's all those records I listed off, right? Of like, I'll read them one more time. It was like biggest streaming, where is okay, Seth's record for most streamed premiere at the time. Finale had more viewers than the premiere, and the most streamed new series in a decade. Now that's great, right? But it also means those numbers could still just be super low. Even if they're breaking said records, it's again of like, if the show was a massive hit, and even if these records were really huge, I think they would have been like, well, let's not cancel. It's doing great. That's the thing we've talked to before, just with streaming in general. It's always hard to gauge what's an actual success, right? So it's like same thing. Acolyte comes out. Disney prays, 11 million people watched it in 7 days. We're so happy with it. What happens 7 weeks later? Yeah, we're canceling that show. We're not doing anything more of it. So that's the thing with like, we've seen so many examples of people come out being like, these streaming numbers are fantastic. And then cut to a few months, half year later, where that thing's getting canceled. So it's like, are they really that fantastic, or is it just fantastic in the scope of like, what if Showtime's all their other stuff is like super low, and just because Dexter's name's on it, that's why it bruised up for new series? And it could be, right? So that's why it's like with the streaming age, we can really trust nothing. And yeah, Trinity, I if it gets canceled, I'm not mad about it. I wouldn't mind if they did just like a mini series. Say, hey, it's not gonna be a whole show, but we're gonna do like a 4 episode. Here's a look. But like, I don't know if I need that. But at least I think that puts to bed like that. The Harrison spinoff that was talked about, I think it's just gonna be Dexter, and probably as a brand, that's probably safer, because I think most people are liking that, and we'll see if most people in this room like this episode. Tayfield. Now again, the actual episode, non-spoilers. What do you think about episode 8?
Oh, I liked it. Right off the hop, I was having a good time with it, and there was some surprises in here, of course, and it's just the one thing too with Batista that again, I'd save it for spoilers, but it was kind of laying the groundwork of what's gonna probably go down with this character, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I got sneaky and I watched a promo today for episode 9 because I wanted to just see what was going on.
Touched by an Angel, yeah, I've seen.
Yeah,
that as well,
you
too,
saw it. Yeah, they definitely reaffirmed some stuff going on with what they lay down in this episode with Batista. So it's gonna be fun to see how it happens, even though it's familiar territory. But yeah, so that's that. And then getting into the more personal stuff with Dexter, there's some stuff there. And the main thing that I'm excited to talk about, breakdown, is you have this whole blessing kind of like reaffirmation, and then
which is funny because I feel like everyone in the Discord has like There's so many. That's the good thing about like
Everyone has different theories.
Yeah, there's no. It's not a non-spoiler. It's not like my theory was they did not reveal who New York Ripper is, so my spoilers. But like this episode, I was like, oh, this is definitely Blessing, and then Taylor Michael's like, it's definitely not Blessing. But there's so many, see fucking, it's getting bad when we're seeing Joseph Quinn theories out there. But legitimately, like real people that we talk to, I feel like everyone has other ideas. So that is good right now. Now it just has to be like. It can't be a pick that we're all, like I said, if it was Joseph Quinn, I feel like all of us would be like, oh fuck, this sucks, like I feel like they gotta land that now because they are creating every week, oh it's this, but yeah, continue. I just want to say that everyone I feel like has a different vibe now who the New York Ripper is, who isn't even a big deal in the show right now. Like it's one of these things the fans have like
It might be.
But
it's
no,
Jonah. That's a big deal.
No, but I mean like in the show, like it's not like Dexter's hunting the New York Ripper and we have to find out who it is, right? It's just like this, not even side storyline. It's like a storyline in the whole show that's gone what, maybe 10 minutes of screen time? Because what, Peter Dinklage talked about him, and then the cop did last week. What other time did it come up? Like we heard about it on the news. And that's
I'd
about
say
it,
less
right?
than
So like
5
there
minutes,
might be only in these
So
8
this show's
hours
like original trilogy Boba Fett. That's what this show's.
1,000,000%. Which the fans could be building up. I'll tell a story when you go, but the fans would be building up way more than it could be. So
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, yeah, I'm enjoying. I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was fun, and I'm excited to see what next week is gonna unfold. Because how many episodes do we have? Is next week the
next week's
season?
the penultimate.
Ooh, fuck,
So we got
that's
2,
juicy.
yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. No, it's a good episode. I'm happy with it.
Kirkland, you happy?
I am happy. Yes, I am. I enjoyed this episode. I thought this was a banger, and one of those where when it ended, I actually like gasped. I was like, "Holy fuck! Okay, here we go. We're cooking now," which is a great place to be feeling at this stage. Stop that! I'm gonna
I wasn't sure you weren't reacting, so I wasn't sure if you
try
were seen
not
it or
to.
not.
No, I thought this was really good. There's some good Dexter stuff in here. There's some good Harrison stuff in here. Just like I feel like what's the word? Converging of storylines a lot here. And as we head into the finale next week, that's an important place to be.
No,
there's-
not next week.
Didn't you just say this is the penultimate?
No, next week's the penultimate.
Oh, next week's
we
the
got,
penultimate.
Yeah, we got 2 more episodes.
Okay,
Finales.
so we got some time to fuck
We got
around.
some time to cook.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What's Angel's line?
Surprise, Amano.
Yeah. I really don't like have much more to say than that, like spoiler free wise, because I just want to jump into some juicy content in here. But I mean, yeah, there's minor spoiler. One moment when Dexter's wearing pantyhose that just killed me. I think it's because he's trying to be like a menacing, terrifying character, like the Dark Passenger type aspect of Dexter, which he is many times. But just when he has the
No.
pantyhose on. What do you mean, no?
I think he's trying to just conceal his identity. It's not to make him scary. I think he's trying to make it.
But the lines that he's delivering, like
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. I thought you were saying he put on the
he
pantyhose
looks like
to
fucking
become
Boba Fett in that photo. It's so funny.
How does he look like Boba?
The nose,
That's the
the
tease.
nose. He's got
I
some
thought you-
veneers going on under there.
I thought you were saying that he added the pantyhose to make him more scared as the Dark Passenger. I was like, no, Kirk, like
this is really gonna terrify my victims.
He's like, yeah, Red had that electric hood. My Dark Passenger's gonna have fucking pantyhose.
he's evolving as a serial killer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just funny the way that he was delivering the line, because he's like menacing, like as he's get
Yeah.
his face off here. I can't even focus now. And then he just has.
You
got to
make that one of the
which is funny.
the audio avatars, Taylor. Like the ones that's going to be
Oh,
our
yeah.
third Dexter one because we have
just all Dexter.
yeah. Because
variants.
what do we got? Let me kill my camera. We got also the OG. We got the bad hair one, and then we got the Come to Me Amore. Hang on, these take so long. You got that one where Dexter's looking
Oh, yeah,
pretty
that's
surprised by
okay.
topless Lila with Dexter, and then we'll get the pantyhose one at some point. But yeah, nothing else, Kirkland.
No.
I guess we can get rid of this too. I don't know why you guys ever had a picture of just original Sin Dexter, but you know what? The show is canceled, so
God,
he's
that
getting
hair.
he's
Jesus.
canceled as well. So See you later, Original Sin, Patrick Gibson. But yeah, no, I think this was a good, solid episode. I think they presented a lot of things in here that it kept me on my toes, which is good. I like the things they're doing with Al, I like things they're doing with Dinklage. The Batista thing, I think like Taylor said, that's so far very formulaic, and I'm just waiting for a shift, because I said this last week, we had no spoilers, if they do what they're laying out. This is like the third time they've done this in the show. Even the ending of this show, I know some people have brought up like, this is such a hype moment, they're doing this. It's just, we've literally done this exact same scene before. And that's always giving me a hang up as far as, again, okay, it's tough because I want them to do something new, but then they do like something like the serial killer room where it's like, I don't know. And granted, the serial killer like table thing has not been as bad as I worried. We still actually, like, I guess it's a little spoilers, but we still have never found out what Peter Dinklage really wanted with them. Like, I guess it was literally just to meet and give trophies. Like, we did think it was gonna be some like bigger deal, and just like, he just meets with them. So, and I think that maybe helps. It helps that there's not some big conspiracy of like what's going on. So I do want them to still do new stuff. I don't want to just watch Dexter for the sake of just Michael C. Hall, and that's always my worry. So I'm waiting to see. This episode was good, but it can also be affected by the next two, specifically the finale. But yeah, I think there's some good twists and turns in here. It's not completely paint by the numbers on multiple things. I still like what's going on with Harrison, even though that's another subplot that I think we're just kind of dropping out of nowhere. So we'll see. But yeah, I think this was a good episode, and there's some fun discussion to be had here. So we will do that after this ad break. And we are back. So yeah, let's. I thought there was a place I want. Oh, let's start with New York Ripper and Blessing and all that stuff. So the reason, so last week I said I thought it was going to be Dinklage, but I did say it's like, okay, it depends what they do here, and we'll talk about. But how they had him find out about Dexter this episode, I went, no, that does not fit at all, because you could have done X, Y, and Z a different way. That doesn't fit with the route they're going. And just the reason I think it's Blessing is because they are really playing up some of this anger he has. And I'm going by the recaps, which Dexter in the past has had some bad recaps that spoil things. In the recap, the only thing they have Blessing goes, I have a darkness. And that's where I'm like, okay, I think they're trying to tell the people that don't pick up on the stuff when they're watching, like, look what we're doing with Blessing, like, hey, he's the fucking guy. I just don't know. And I'm not 100% on it, but even the speech, and he's getting really mad, I think they're playing it off like, oh, he's just a bad neighbor, but I'm not sure. I still really, as much as you guys have the meme pick, I don't think it's Jonah. I know Mike has thrown out Harrison's new girlfriend, which is like,
that's a very plausible pick, especially with her injured hand, and she's pissed she's not getting the force.
But what does that have to do with her? Like, and don't get me wrong, I don't think Mike's out of the realm possibility, because these writers will do that. But like, what does her injured hand have to do with her being the Ripper? When you said on Discord, I'm like,
I think because maybe she was taking someone down and she hurt her hand, and that's why she hasn't been killing anyone for a while, because she got injured when she was like beating the shit out of someone with her crowbar.
Yeah, that to me is like a big. That for me is a dud. If it's her, I just and I'm actually liking the actress. I think her and Harrison have good chemistry. I like this whole very joking attitude she has. Like, oh, I couldn't believe this was my first time and stuff like that's all working for me. That just feels like a rush villain to me. So it's like, don't get me wrong, I'd still take that over the Quinn theory that's been going on. But it's like, for me, it's like, I don't know. I don't really have a top, because I've said it before. My top is an unknown. My top is they leave it open-ended and it's a new actor next season. That's my top. Next would be Blessing. Then would be Jonah. Then would be her. And then would be Quinn. Because I've taken Peter Dinklage out. Because I don't think Dinklage is the Ripper, unless he literally just reveals that, like, yeah, I took it up and they just dispatch it quickly. I don't think they will, but they could. And this is what I was saying before. I'm minor spoiling, but like, Kirkland's seen the show and he'll get there again. And at the rate Kirkland's going, he's not going to get there for 2 years. But there's a character named Elliot that gets introduced in the original show of Dexter. And I remember what happened was they do this big storyline where Masuka's getting in shit in season 7 or something like that, and whatever, he's cataloging evidence, and he finds that the ice truck killer, you know how he always used like that the girl's amputated arm with the rainbow stuff. Like he had the rainbow nail paint like Dexter's mom. So they found that that was out of evidence and it got sold and someone got it. And it was this big deal like, hey, who the fuck's doing that? And the finale of that season, there's an intern that's working at Miami Metro that's completely just a nerdy guy the whole season. And then at the end, he's fucking Batista's sister. And they're like panning around the room. Yeah, he is. They're like, he's fucking his sister. And they're panning around the room and the camera stops. And in the case, he has the ice truck killer hand and
I
the
remember
theme
that.
plays. And it's, what'd you say, Kurt?
I feel like I remember that scene.
Okay, so
Way
that
back.
was
What season is that?
I think season 6 finale, and that's why it was a big deal. And I was like, "Holy fuck! Like, what's the action here? What's gonna happen?" Season 7, it's just, he just like to purchase weird stuff, and then he dies in like episode 4, and he's just like a hacker. How he goes after Dexter, he like takes out his credit cards and like makes his passport void. Like he does that type of stuff, and this is what I mean where I could see, that's why with Blessing, I could see it just being something easy like that, where it's like, yeah, it's just the guy here. Like, that's why anything that's like a bad scenario, I could see it just being, oh, yeah, you know, that really cool thing we built up? It is just this girl that Harrison just ate out a couple episodes ago. It's like, all right. Like, and again, that just makes the world so small. Like, Harrison happens to start dating the killer. Like, I don't know. I don't like many of these options other than the unknown one. But Taylor, where are you in the camp? Because I do think they're going Blessing.
I think the girl, I actually really like that idea because I think it creates a very interesting scenario with Harrison involved. But I like the idea of it being Jonah. I think
Right, you guys, the Jonah boys. Yeah.
bring Jonah, yeah, Jonah boys. Let's bring him into the fold. I'm down with that. Now with Blessing, I just think when she was playing that tape at the police school briefing, and the guy's talking, or you hear the voice of the New York Ripper, and they're talking and making these threats and all that kind of stuff. That's all fine and dandy, but it's just the way that the voice was talking.
'Kay.
And again, a killer could change it up.
I was just gonna say, you
hang
say you like
hang
the
on,
girl
hang on.
theory. That doesn't sound like her on the fucking tape either.
Hang on. I know that it's like a voice modulator or whatever, but it's the way that they're pronouncing and the way they're speaking very seamless English. It sounds very different than how Blessing talks. Unless Blessing is faking it or when he's in kill mode,
Easy.
he talks perfect English and is like it's just that you see. It's kind of
He talks like a generic white male. Hello, Dexter.
That's what I'm trying to get at. That's how
Blessing.
the New York Ripper talks. So
I have a darkness.
but
that's why I-
Motherfucker.
Surprise, fellow white man. He takes it's a Mission Impossible, and it's Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt,
Blessing. Yeah.
You get
But
that
like,
theme coming in.
yeah, dun, dun. But that's why I think that voice sounds generic, because I think it could be someone, whether it's the girl or Blessing, hiding their voice, because it sounds like Scream Roger Smith, right? So that's why I like it. To me, if you're saying the voice means it's not Blessing, then it can't be that girl either. That doesn't make any sense to me.
why and it wouldn't be the girl?
Because there wasn't a woman's voice on that tape. She could also be
Because it's a
using
voice it's a voice modulator. But I'm saying,
So couldn't
it's
he
not,
do that
it's,
too?
It's not the modulator that's in question here. It's the way that they are actually speaking.
But he
their-
could change
their
his whole
English.
speech pattern. He could like
He could,
get, you know,
he
like-
could, and I feel like that's way too much of a stretch for these show writers to do something like that.
Oh, I don't know about that. Who's so let's see. I don't know what the whole name is, but I heard an interesting episode 9 theory that Batista comes in tailing Dexter, falls into Prater's place, where Dexter and Prater are maybe in a vault. While they are in the vault, Batista breaks in. Charlie shoots at him, misses. Who's Charlie again? Is that Uma Thurman?
Charlie's, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thurman.
Shoots at her and kills. Let's see, shoots at him, misses. Then he shoots at her, and Dexter and Batista come out of the vault. Batista, while pointing the gun at both, breaks in. Blah blah. Blah. Let's see. I'm not gonna read the full thing. I think that we like. I'm in that camp that's how Batista's surviving is like I've been rocking that theory for a while that for some reason Dexter and Batista will be in the same place, something will happen, and they will have like I said, a mini truce just to get through a situation and then go forward. I really don't want
He's gonna ask Dexter for help killing these cops.
yeah, which was funny. This week they're gaslighting him to be like the dumb cop, but like it was so stupid where it's like Batista's like, I got proof on the Bay Harbor Butcher. And this guy, I know we've joked about Batista, right? And like, thanks, Dexter, never saw it that way. Like, he's a little aloof at times. But I thought with this Batista, right? He's been the captain for at least a decade now. And I felt like when he's coming in and he's hunting and stuff, it's like, okay, he's going to maybe be a little bit, you know, smarter on how he does this thing. But when he calls like I got proof, and it's like he doesn't have the alleged victim, he doesn't have the alleged killer. It's just a room of plastic. I forgot that he lied to him that he still was captain. I guess I
Pulls
missed
his
that
phone
portion.
out. Look, I got the tracker, and it just says
Yes,
nothing. He's like,
yes.
oh no.
Like, I think that's my thing of like they made him look like a fucking year one rookie. Like he looked so bad. And I've said this before. I'm in a corner both ways. If he dies, I'm failing the show. And if they set him up, I'm failing the show. Because Dexter did that to Dokes. He was gonna do that to LaGuardia before Deborah shot him. Or shot her. So it's like this would be the third. It's just annoying that every resolution of the Miami cops after Dexter, what is it? Well, we'll just frame him to be a killer. We're framing him to be something's wrong with him. They're up to something no good. So it's just like, and I just feel like that would be very hard for me to believe of like, what's the end result of the show really then? Where it's like, Dokes gets framed, right? And then the narrative is actually this whole time it was Angel Batista that framed Dokes. And then what? 5 years when the show ends and Dexter does get caught, it's like, well, actually no, Batista wasn't
was
innocent man.
Masuka.
Well, it's just like it just feels too samey. So that's why I'm hoping it is they have a truce for now, but then Batista will take him down. If he just gets completely framed, that's very unoriginal. The same way as the ending. They did the Hello Dexter Morgan ending with Peter Dinklage. They literally did that. They just said, "Hello, I didn't know you have a son." Like it's like shot for shot the same. So it's like we're just playing the hits right now. We're just doing the same stuff. So that's why I really hope Batista does not get framed. But Kirkland, what do you think? Do you think Batista gonna meet some hermanos in jail, or what's going on?
Yeah, he's definitely a suspect now. He's a very sus individual over that whole ordeal. I loved how he just did not think this through. Guy runs away. He like did not get his name, his fucking phone number, anything. It's all pointing towards him looking pretty sketchy. And then when he pulls up the tracker, of course, it like just
Fucking coming after it.
Move,
Pants
bitch.
are off. He's just wrapped up.
He
Yeah.
had time to get semi-dressed though, and had his jacket. So
Yeah.
Dexter had him ready to go. So
Yeah. So the way that whole scene went was just hilarious to me. And then as it just snowballed into this just crazy man tale, I got a kick out of. I kind of hope they don't go the full. Oh, it was him the whole time. Just because that's been so samey.
Yeah.
And like even in hindsight, like what was it? The previous episode when they're getting. They're like interviewing Dexter, like the new cops, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he was crazy."
Batista,
yeah.
he's had a shit life since
I heard
this
he
guy
helped
died and
Dokes
this
that
guy
whole
died.
time.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I
the
think
fuck.
him and Dokes were fucking actually. Like yeah.
So I kind of hope it doesn't go that route. I'm hoping that like Angel remains a sus individual, and then it like seems like that might be a play for Dexter to just kind of like get him off his tail that way, but then. Some other factor comes into play. Not necessarily Batista dies, but I don't know.
I would love it. I don't think they're gonna do this because they're making like the Bee Gees cop kind of sus of Batista. I would love a twist within a twist where obviously this isn't the last season, but to put Dexter maybe back on the run or something, where Dexter thinks this plan is working, but they just use it to fucking gaslight him. Like they're full in on Batista's Bay Harbor Butcher, and he thinks he's in the clear, but they actually got him. Like a mission, the rooms fall down, and Ethan Hunt's there. We got
He
you.
takes off the mask. It's Dokes this whole time.
Yeah, the BG cop is Dokes. Batista, Hermano, I didn't know you were still alive. Surprise, motherfucker. But like, I don't
We
know.
slept together.
Yeah. We're gay. I'm not gay. Well, you took me to that club. No, I just like to dance. Go watch
sucked
Scary
my
Movie.
dick.
Yeah, I didn't suck yours. But let's see. Super Mike says, Travis, if it's not Gigi, why are they focusing on the arm so much? You could also have her eventually go after the mom Harrison had a crush on. God, Mike, you're not wrong, but what you're pitching right now sounds like some bad original sin stuff of like, because like that thing, like that mom storyline's completely just off on the ether, no idea.
Pizza
And, like,
bet of Mike. That's gold.
I would not take pizza because I'm not saying Mike's wrong. I just that idea of like they break up and they do like a cruel and not what was the Fatal Attraction where she's fucking crazy and she's going after the lady that Harrison's into now. Like this sounds like some really iffy stuff, and I don't think Mike's wrong because we've gotten some iffy stuff from Dexter multiple times, right? I feel a little less so because Clyde is he's show running this, but like there's some stuff this season, like how they retconned all of New Blood. That I thought, okay, that's very iffy. So I was maybe hoping the arm was just to have more bonding with him and his dad, because they did use that as a moment that, hey, you know, my dad, he wasn't a cop, but he put so many people away. He's bloodstained ass. There's many things you could do. So I was kind of hoping it was a 2-for-1 that bonds him with the new girl more, and that also puts Dexter in a better light for Harrison right now, who I think they're finally on like good terms. I think now a Prater showing up that's gonna fuck everything up. But like even this episode when they talk about the landlord, he's like, yeah, I talked to him, told him about like the things you take care of people. He's like, oh, you scared him a little, didn't you, Dad? He's like, maybe just a little. Like I think they have like a good understanding. Even Dexter too, when he's about to kill somebody, he's like, oh, I'm just kind of tired. So I like that he's not like, yeah, you know what I'm doing tonight, son. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna keep this as separate as possible. So that's my hope, Mike, that it's just some good character writing to like bond these 3 characters somewhat. But you're right, it could be that. I just don't know again why, like, same thing, then she's injured. If she can't be a fucking cop and pass the physical, she's gonna be taking down people maybe twice her size as the New York Ripper. Like, I guess we'll have to see, right? But with an injured hand too, like I don't know. It just,
Well, the nerve damage, right? That's just there's like certain bars you have to meet to be a cop, and that's just one of them. Like, it doesn't mean it's going to inhibit her murdering people.
but she's not killing cops then. So I guess I need to see the line of, and a well-written line of, how does if I'm Travis Snell, I want to become a cop, I get nerve damage, how does that transform into me killing innocent people to take that out? If cops were dying, then I could say, okay, that does maybe make some sense because she's jealous, X, Y, and Z, right? But they're not. It's just innocent people. So how do we get from that through line, from nerve damage to I'm going to start killing innocent people, when her job was she wanted to save innocent people? That's where I'm having the issue. She's a senior in college? I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe did I call her as younger or whatnot, but still, like, how do we get to that line, Taylor? She wants to be a cop to save innocent people, and now because she has an injury, she wants to kill.
Sure, she wants to save innocent people. I mean, it could be like the Dexter approach. Maybe someone's giving her a code, and you know, she's yeah.
I guess if that's the best we're getting, fuck, man, we're in some deep trouble. Then that, you know, oh, it's actually Harrison's adoptive daughter. You didn't meet her. We're gonna do GG Original Sin, and we're gonna explain that all and everything like that. So, Kirk, you mentioned one thing, and I've seen you wince a couple times. What do you feel about if GG's the New York Ripper?
Yeah, I don't like that. I feel like the setup of her being like wanting to become a detective and just like that avenue of the character that we've kind of been revealed to. I don't know. I just like that more than if she's just, oh yeah, I've just been fucking ripping people apart, fucked up my arm, and like I don't know. It's just a bit of a jump there, and I don't necessarily want like everyone. Well, I guess the previous lady that he interacted with wasn't a psycho, but yeah, just like people that are coming across Harrison's path, just like people that kind of fit the code for Dexter. Like I don't want it to just be everyone in Harrison's life. Dexter's just fucking removing from the playing field. I don't know.
Because then it's like the Star Wars thing, right? Of like everyone knows the Skywalkers. It just feels like that. That's why I want the Ripper to be someone that we have no idea.
I want
anybody.
it to be Jonah. I'm still in that camp.
Like, and even that Jonah, like, I guess, again, that's still Dexter knowing him, but like that's almost a bit better because at least there's been some distance, and it's like he's been the Ripper, and they happen to come to New York, where it's just like Dexter and Harrison haven't met many people out there in New York, and if it's like Blessing or Gigi, so it's like out of the 3 people they've met, like one of the 3 happens to be another serial killer. Like it feels way too just, is everybody a serial killer again, when we already have a season where it's like Dexter's having dinner with 6 serial killers, you know?
I like Blessing being the Ripper more than it being Gigi. I feel like I'm very low on it being Gigi, but I don't want it to be Blessing either. I want like some other avenue for Blessing that's not just
you betray me
the Ripper the whole time.
Motherfucker. He was ready to throw hands on Dexter.
He's going down this dark rabbit hole. He's like one bad day away from being fucking Eddie
Dexter's
Brock
gonna kill him
in Spider-Man 3 when he's just like, please God, kill Dexter Morgan.
When Dexter is like having a wife with dinner and he just walks in, I'm gonna give myself the one here. Just Dexter, could I speak with you for a moment? In the most awkward, like he's in the middle of a conversation, he's eating not natural whatsoever. Can I take you for a moment, please, in the other room? Like, and his wife says nothing. It's just like, that's why my worry is I feel like they're making him the dark side pop up too much. That's why I'm getting the dark passenger vibes, because it's just like, and even the speech, he was like yelling, he was getting really mad. So it's like, is he slipping it? And because here's my thing, if he's not the Ripper, I'm kind of like, what the fuck we doing here then? Like, what are we even doing?
That's
here
where I
with
want it to
Blessing?
be like one other thing. Like, I don't know. He's just beating on fucking homeless people or something to get
my
his rage out. Yeah. It's- new factor.
I'll give you a free ride. I was a boy soldier, my mom, all that stuff. Oh my god! But that's the thing, because that's
the
where
new ride share like evolution.
he's not
he gets
killing
inspired.
them. He's just serially beating them. We don't know who he is, but and that's why I'll give the credit to Mike. Where if it's Gigi, at least like, okay, we only met her 2 scenes where it was the meet cute and then someone with Harrison. I agree. Harrison's too happy right now, so she's bad news. So I could see that. That's where for me, if it's not Blessing, I'm just. But even then with her, I can also see that that's a romantic lead for Harrison. That could lead to other things. Hostage situation, yet right? With Blessing, it's like, if he's really just gonna be the Dexter's landlord, I don't need this much time with him. Just keep him the happy neighbor and have some fun moments where he's like the dead bodies in the shower and he sees the hook and he fixes it, right? Like, just do that type of stuff. I don't need, I got a dark side, Dexter, and he's just reaming him out, yelling that you betrayed me downstairs. Like, what is happening here? Like, I don't know if I need this and stuff. But even the way he sounds like, if Harrison knew you killed a person, like the way he's talking right now, it just feels like they're setting those like lines up and
He
stuff.
gets mad about the fact that he killed one person, though, unless he's just not.
No, he was mad. I think that he was
Sugarcoating it.
mad that somebody that he personally knew that. That's what he was mad about. That got out there, because I just feel like then you could start, because it's like Dexter, right? You don't think he's a bad guy, and then it's like, oh, what happened to him when he was a kid? Oh, that's kind of weird. Oh, his brother was a serial killer. That's kind of weird. Like, when you start to find out those personal informations that are kind of red flags about the people, Dokes, LaGuardia, Deb, it was all like, okay, something can't be right with him. He can't be completely normal if all this stuff's happened. So I feel like that's kind of the thing with Blessing. It's like, if no one knows he was a child soldier, if no one knows what happened to him, if no one knows about the guy he killed, he can keep that under wraps. But if people start to find out, hey, like you killed someone, X, Y, and Z, then maybe some scrutiny. So I feel like that's why it reminds me of Dexter, who Dexter did not want that stuff to be found out about him, right? Like even the picture of his mother at one point, he burnt it. He eventually saved and like hid it somewhere, but that kicked him in the ass because someone found it. So that's what I'm thinking, is that he just doesn't want that out there. So Pinto Bean saying, never mind, she's a sophomore, so she would have been killing in middle school. They kept showing that cat statue a lot too this episode. I thought that too, and I'm like, is this one of fucking Blessing's like murder weapons? Does he knock out the fucking people before he rips them? I don't know, but yeah, I guess. But they did throw out that theory though with the New York Ripper that it could be a copycat, right? But I also see, I don't want that. If it's like there was a New York Ripper, he disappeared, and Gigi like took up his legacy, like. That also sounds not like no bueno for me on that one. I don't need a copycat New York Ripper. Like, give us the real Ripper, So, but let's take our second ad break and we'll be right back. And we're back. Where do we want to go next? Or nowhere.
Could go to Al. Al escaping.
Right? Al was supposed to die this episode, and he
Al?
got out of there. Ponytail guy.
Oh yeah.
Rapunzel.
It seemed like a little too convenient for it to just be like, oh, I just ended up not liking it and I left early.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it sounded like he did go there, so like maybe it is genuine. He just seems like so like over the top with the performance that it's like, is this really a facade, or it like,
And the
like,
fact
as
he threw his
pointed
phone
out-
his phone out the
Yeah.
window the second his call was done with Dexter, he definitely is working with like Prater. They had some theory, and whatever happened, I think Prater let him in. I could even
Yeah.
say them be like, say you're going to Hamilton, and we're gonna see if we're in a car, and we're gonna see if
Yeah,
Dexter's
that's a good-
outside.
yeah.
So that's why I think that he's completely in on it, because it felt weird to me. It's like, why wouldn't you phone? Like, he had no intention of seeing Dexter, right? Because when he's like, oh, let's meet up, I'll meet you halfway. He's like, nah, I like to keep my family life and the Praetor stuff separate. So he had no intention of seeing anything else. Why would he have not got rid of the phone before that, right?
Do you think he's gonna just do the good old, original Dexter, just fast travel to wherever he is and just murder him like he did to Lila?
Lila. I would love it if they kept Al for next season. There's no rush,
Yeah.
right? And I think that'd be fun. If even if he deals with Praetor, he's on his hit list, and because that'd be a fun,
Yeah.
maybe that's a fun 2-arc episode if he's gonna go track him down, get him. Because we got 2 episodes. If we got Praetor and Uma Thurma, and then whatever's still going on with Harris and cops, it's that's enough. We don't need Al right now. So I wouldn't mind if they keep him alive, but he could easily the episode next week could start with him plunging fucking Al.
And you know who has a ponytail? Dexter's friend with the child. She's had a ponytail in a couple.
You mean
seasons.
Harrison's friend with the child?
What did I say? Dexter.
Yeah,
Harrison.
yeah.
Harrison, yeah.
I'm like,
that-
who is
that one.
Dexter's friend? The Bee Gees cop?
No, I like that idea. Make him live on. I feel like him being not dead is there's just something eating away at me, the viewer, because we saw from his perspective him just murdering someone. I feel like that's pretty irregular in the whole Dexter franchise. Just seeing an actual murder from his perspective. So I hope he lives on for just the juice of the show.
Yeah, Pinto Beans is feeling the same way you are, that he'd be going after the Harrison girl, which is I guess, but does that? The only thing is if Praetor gets killed, I don't think he's come back to New York, because I feel like he would feel Red, Dexter, whoever that guy was, won the scenario. Probably not safe for me there. I still think it would be a Dexter hunting him, or even then too. Let's say they deal with all this. You brought up Lila Kirkland. I honestly could see that being the last scene of this season. Is just everything's dealt with in the main story, then cut to Al hanging out with his family, walks in and Dexter's there, quick kill, and then moves forward.
He's
I
wearing
could
the pantyhose. He's just ready to go.
his ponytails hanging out from all of them. These are from your victims, Al. And I was where the fuck do you have those? That's evidence all over you, dude. But I could see that. But yeah, what about you, Taylor? Do you think Al was in on it? Do you think he is making it alive this season, or do you think they'll dispatch of him one way or another?
I think, however this ends, it's gonna end in a climactic way, crazy, whatnot, and then you're gonna get a opening scene of wherever he's from, Wisconsin. You get an opening scene of Wisconsin,
Yeah,
and then Al will
Cheesehead.
be doing something, and then Dexter's just gonna pop up and he's put the syringe in his neck, and you're just gonna be oh my god, he found him or whatever. I think that's how it's gonna go. I don't think Al was in on it though, luring him or anything like
okay.
that. I think it was just Uma Thurman just tracking him. And then you have mentioned the big gala that's happening here. So of course Praetor's involved with that. The gala's at the hotel, which brings Harrison into the fold now. They were eating, I'm assuming, at the hotel restaurant, which is why Praetor was there, and it was really fancy food. So it's just okay, now this is why things have come into the fold. I think it was just Uma Thurman keeping Charlie keeping tabs on him a little bit more, and I don't think Al had anything to do with it.
Really? But she could have been keeping tabs on him from Hamilton, right? That could have been the setup and go.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
there.
Oh, yeah. We don't know when it starts. Just that
Yeah.
she doesn't feel good about him. So I think that's that. But I don't think that. I don't think Al had anything to do with it, though.
Okay, we'll have to see. And then, yeah, we talked about that Praetor. Harrison and Dexter are eating. Harrison has this terrible line, which I hate. They're talking about. He's like, "Oh, you scared him," and oh yeah, I did a little this that. And he looks at his dad and he's like, "Oh, you kind of have a thing for justice, don't you, Dad?" It's fuck, man. Where were you in New Blood when you explained what the code was? No, duh, he does. Even it's just and even I think what made me more mad was Dexter taking a beat and being like, "Huh, maybe I do." What? We've seen hundreds of examples of Dexter doing the right thing because of X, Y, and Z and justice. It just felt again of they did the mission or the Men in Black mind wipe to the viewers and oh, Dexter's never realized he actually has a justice code of things. It's what the fuck are we talking about here, guys? But anyways, that's happened. He sees Praetor coming in, and he's like, "Oh, Red, I didn't know you have a son." So I'm assuming at least at this point they still don't know he's Dexter Morgan. But I feel he's just gonna have endless tales. If they don't know he's Dexter Morgan right now, they're gonna in I don't know 24 hours or so. So
Harrison's just gonna be "Whoa, I don't know about Red. This is my dad, Dexter.
Dexter Morgan, you haven't heard him?
He's the Bay Harbor butcher.
He was married to Rita Morgan, who was killed by the Trinity killer. Angel Batista's currently hunting him, and like, Angel Batista.
Never heard of him?
Yeah, he'll fuck your shit up.
His landlord is the New York Ripper.
Dexter! Just in the restaurant, too.
My best friend Prada, and it's like, oh no. Thanks for
In the
giving that voice
restaurant.
modulation tool that I've been using. They just like,
Couldn't do it without
The
you, Prada.
detectives walk in, too.
I think it just means we gotta make a Dexter parody. You know, we don't have any serial kill. We got horror movie parodies, but we don't have any Dexter parodies. So, you know, put that on the list. But yeah, what do we think is gonna happen here with Prater in the coming weeks here? Were you surprised by it too? That's how they ended. They walked up, just saw him. You know.
Yeah, no, that was a fantastic way to end it. I think that they're gonna know that he's not red like next episode. I think
Yeah.
that'll be revealed. I don't think it's like known yet. I imagine just through some, I don't know, interrogation or something or rather. I don't know. I'm hoping that we get some more juicy like one-on-one between Charlie and Dexter of just because Uma's been such a back burner this whole season,
Yeah.
underutilized.
Hope she's getting paid
Um,
good.
yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the Bay Harbor Butcher reveal will be like, is Prater gonna be the one to figure it out? I don't think so. I think Dexter
No.
would reveal that. But
But at the same
Yeah.
time, I was gonna pitch he'll reveal that when he kills him, but he already did that with Neil Patrick Harris, right? Before he killed him, like on Bay Harbor Butcher. So it's like I don't think they would redo that scene twice. So I almost kind of hope Prater does somehow figure it out. I don't even know how he would.
no, but I
'Cause-
think it'll come out without Prater being on the table.
Me
Just
too. I
'cause-
think that now. Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder too, wouldn't it be a good beat if while Batista was following him, she was still also following him as well, and she saw the whole room set up, and she could tell the Prater, and Prater, if he's such a fucking serial killer junkie, would be like, shit, like, okay, that's interesting. And then when you find out he's from Miami, he's Dexter Morgan. I would love it if Prater actually put all the pieces together because he has some inside knowledge of, hey, you're the fucking Bay Harbor Butcher and X, Y, and Z. You know,
It's
you
like
want to
the
talk for a
scene-
couple hours?
It's a scene where Dexter is chasing Vinny, and then Angel's chasing Dexter, and then you you zoom out even further, and then you have fucking Buddy watching Angel, and then you got the other detective watching whoever.
Yeah, and then the New York Ripper somewhere in there too, from far
Jonah.
behind. Yeah,
And
Jonah.
then you got Ghost Trinity watching Jonah.
Yeah, Ghost Lady Vengeance, like that's the
Christian
guy who
Slater
framed me.
behind them.
Oh my God, Slater! Give me a scene with him and Lithgow. But yeah, how's this gonna play out there, Taylor?
I don't think Prater's gonna figure it out right away. I think him being able to.
Well, we
hold
only got
that
2
red-
episodes, so
Only got 2 episodes, but I think him holding that red card close to his chest is really gonna work to his advantage. Yeah, just I don't know how it's gonna happen, if he's gonna reveal himself or Prater's going to actually like figure it
at
out.
the
'cause
table. I'm the Bay
you
Harbor
bet-
Butcher.
At this point, you have Batista Batista not looking good in the eyes of the cops, and he's the only one pushing for the Bay Harbor Butcher actually being here. No one else knows that. Everyone else is everyone's calling him Dexter, but the only one that's really gonna be caught calling him Dexter is his landlord, really. And I
Well, and
guess
Harrison's
not going to be like, "Hey
sense.
hey Dexter." He's going to be like, "Hey Dad." So that gives him a little extra edge of incognito, I would say. So,
I was
Yeah.
trying to find, because I made a joke, but it sounded like the very same delivery of, this is comedically one of my favorite scenes from Dexter season 2. It's so damn good. I'm gonna bring it up. It's only 15.
Shut.
That's how I wanted to tell Prater, I'm him. I'm the butcher. Like right away, he just spills the beans right away. It's just such a good little moment there. But Super Mike says, I hope we get a couple interactions with Dexter and Prater after he finds out he's the butcher. Would be nice to know more about how the butcher is thought of as a killer of killers. I would agree, especially because it's come up multiple times, even in the books now, like Dokes comes up and stuff. So, yeah, I would like that. Pinto Bean says, not going to happen, but funny thought of Dokes, a repeat of Dokes and Lila where Prater finds out Dexter's the butcher, Angel and Prater does something to fuck Angel over. Yeah, I hope not. I hope I don't want. That is my big fear of something happens and Angel takes the fall, and I just.
he's taking it.
I don't know. We got, which again, like, really, like, just odd scene where, okay, you get the Bee Gees call up. She phones Miami. We learn, I guess, that Quinn is now Captain Quinn. So, congratulations to Joseph Quinn, Captain Miami Metro. Very terrible pick, but that's okay. And same thing. I would imagine they have a good relationship. I imagine he would have, how I know Batista and Quinn, he would have covered from like a lot more and then talked to Batista. But same thing, he just spills the beans. Like, yeah, no, he wouldn't be there on work with Bear Butcher. That sounds weird. I don't know why he'd be looking at that. Yeah, he's not a captain. He's not there on anything. Like, he just like outsells his friend. Like, it's just someone random. Like, just downplay a little bit. Like, I'll get back to you, and then touch base with Batista. Like, hey, 'cause especially next week, if we get. I'm even somewhat more fine if for some reason Quinn feels he fucked up, even though he's like the fucking Miami Metro captain. Probably thought he could have read the situation. But if nothing happens and like Quinn doesn't even call him, be like, hey man, like this detective was asking questions about you, some fell off, just want to give you a heads up. Like, what fucking type of friend is Quinn then? Just like, oh, that's weird. Like, even then, wouldn't you be kind of, I just feel like if we work together, right? And let's say we're not cops, but even then, let's say we found out Dylan, because Dylan's not here. Dylan went down as a serial killer, right? And then for some reason, 20 years later, someone, I know that, you're doing, one of you are gone, right? And someone calls me and says, oh, like, what's up with Taylor? Like, oh, I don't know, X, Y, and Z. Like, yeah, do you know anything about the Bay Harbor Butcher? If that was the case, I would be calling Taylor right away. Be like, one, what are you doing? And two, they bring up the Bay Harbor Butcher, which was a massive deal in Miami. So it's like, if Quinn doesn't even call Batista back, it just feels like such a weird, like, just like, oh, here's another easy domino, set up Batista to be like, well, he's not a working cop anymore. I didn't like that scene, how it played out at all. And I was excited because we had seen the teaser that more Quinn was coming. I was hoping it was going to be some juice of Batista telling him his theory, because then I'd be like, oh, this is great, because if Batista does go down or something, Quinn will believe him, and Quinn's not going to fucking fall for the cop, like the Dexter mind game stuff right now, right? Maybe Masuka would, but no, it's just the cop, like BG's cop phone, be like, oh, something suspicious. And Quinn just made him sound more suspicious, so...
Well, when the detective calls and he's like, "Oh, I'm asking about Batista looking the Bay Harbor Butcher," and Quinn's just like, "Oh fuck," on the phone.
Yeah, he literally, it wasn't like, oh yeah, that's an old case. He literally looked around and he like muted the phone and walked out of like earshot. So it's like, that's a big deal. Someone's mentioning the BHB to me. That's like and it's your case too. It's Miami. You're now the fucking captain, and they're like, we're looking into it. I'd be like, why? Even it just was off guard. Like, why are you looking? Like, you're in New York. Why would this even be a thing? Why are you looking into it? Why haven't we been alerted by this? If you think there's anything close to the Bay Harbor Butcher, like, I just felt like how usually in cop world would go. Like, he'd be way more defensive, but he was just down to give every X, Y, and Z what's going on in Batista's life. Like, he felt like Dexter last week. He felt like him, but like Dexter was doing that on purpose. And Quinn, I don't know. Super Mike says, I predict Batista and Charlie team up to go after Dexter next season. I don't think so. I don't see Charlie teaming up with people, because like, I think if Prado dies, she's just gonna move on, or she's gonna die. So I don't see that. It's not the realm possibility, but I don't see Charlie kind of making the good, because like, I just feel like what, Prado dies and she's gonna be like really mad about Dexter doing that. Like, I don't think so. Like, unless he frames her or something. Maybe he frames Charlie as the BHB.
Well, she's gonna team up with Blessing.
As the Rippers?
Yeah, the Rippers. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect, anything else in this episode we haven't covered?
Can you imagine we just never see Quinn again? Do you think that's possible?
Yes.
What a hilarious event that would be.
I think it's possible. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Taylor, do you think it's the last time we ever see Joseph Quinn again?
I think it's a high chance.
so
We're not seeing Masuka again.
If he never interacts with Batista, like, man, that is such a red flag.
Especially to me, like, again, let's say we play this scenario, right? Because, so Taylor, I was going to ask you too, in your mind, if Batista gets framed as the BHB, is he also dying?
No.
Okay, so let's walk that way, right? In the next season, I'm Joseph Quinn. I've been around Miami. This is the third, I'll say second, because Dexter's just framing LaGuardia to be crazy, and that's how she got in like a gunfight with the mobster and stuff, but still, he framed her. But still, this is the second cop in Miami that's been the purview of Dexter, and who are you going to believe? This guy who's been a captain, no bad records, anything like that, or Dexter, who faked his death for 10 years and was also around all these other people. Don't forget, Joseph Quinn in season 4 and 5 was investigating Dexter because he knew he was doing something shady. And you know what happened? He just stopped investigating him. I won't say why, because Kirkland's going to get to that point, but it's just for a lame reason, like, oh, thanks for doing me a solid. Good on you. And that's pretty much it. And they just like call it. It's like when I'm pitching with Batista and they just call a truce. But that fits because, hey, Quinn at that point, he's kind of shady. He's dirty. He's the captain of Miami now. I'm going to hope he's not shady and dirty anymore. And Batista, they even said a couple episodes ago, one of his best friends, right? I think he even called him his best friend when he bought him a shot. My best friend's retiring. So you're going to tell me this guy goes on the BHP and Quinn's never show up in the show? He's not going to call him? He's not going to be on the first fucking flight to New York? Be like,
Could get a call, maybe. I think maybe you'll get something like that.
it has to be more than a call, though. Like, if Batista, hey, I got one call. Quinn, I'm in jail. They're framing me for the Bay Harbor Butcher. Guess what? Dexter Morgan's alive. Hang up. What I know of Joseph Quinn, the second that call ends, he's fucking there. Like, he's driving there. I think Masuka would be there,
Like,
too.
Fuck you. You know?
Yeah, you're the butcher. How could you friend
You're
Dokes?
the butcher.
How could you do this to LaGuerta? She was your wife, man. You gaslit her into thinking Dokes was the butcher. Like, that is the tightrope they're walking on with another frame job again of just all these characters and people looking dumb. And I'm finding the Bee Gees cop and her partner look dumb because again they are. Last week they had no idea what's going on, and
When
now
they
this
were
week
staring at him in the room, and I realized
He's
what
the
was
killer.
going on. I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sakes!" That was getting kind of shitty. That made them look like fucking idiots.
Oh yeah, these are the worst police officers in the history of Dexter. In the history, like it's just this is some really bad stuff. I would trust Masuka more out in the field than these fucking two people, you know. So, God.
I mean, I feel like the standard of police officers in the entirety of Dexter though hasn't been like that great. Like as I'm going through,
So
it,
that's
I'm
what I mean,
like,
it's saying
man,
something.
Batista's actually such a piece of shit character, and LaGuerta.
well, no,
don't
he's a
even
good
get
cop.
me
He's a
started
good
on
guy
LaGuerta.
though. Batista's a good guy though.
Yeah,
How's he not a good guy? How is
some
Batista not a
morally
good guy?
wrong things,
Like what?
like beat the shit out of a cop
But didn't
to the
that
brink of
cop?
death.
Yeah, but that cop beat up his girlfriend, right?
No,
Oh, no, that was the cop that said Maria gets the best blowjobs in Miami. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, he was a little drunk. He's a little drunk. He got a little carried away and stuff. And okay,
there's multiple different.
he
things.
cheated on his wife, but I mean in the sense of like, let's compare these people. Dokes had multiple like questionable murders as a Miami cop. Quinn multiple times on screen was shown stealing dirty money. Harry Morgan, Dexter Morgan, Deb fucking shot LaGuerta. She killed LaGuerta.
But that's just the standard of cops that we have in this show. Like it's not.
I just mean though, that's why I said put that all aside. Batista's still a good person. He didn't frame it like the cheat on his wife. Okay, passion that does suck. But like the cop thing, he got a little heated. Liberacion. He didn't frame somebody. He didn't kill an innocent person. He didn't do all this terrible stuff. Even when Dokes, you just watched this episode. Remember when they were investigating Dokes, he even gave the truth about Dokes. Like Batista is a good guy, you know. Yeah, Le Passion versus the wife. Well, I guess the wife wasn't giving him no Le Passion, you know. Couldn't understand what was happening. And he tried to make it right, and you know what? He did make it right. They got on good terms near the end, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, next week we got Prater. We'll see what's going on. If there is I do feel like luckily with the amount of episodes we get, I think we're getting the Ripper reveal in the finale, and I don't think it's going to be a close off. I do think they're leaving it hanging. But like I said, I'm always scared that Prater's just gonna drop that he's the fucking Ripper, and they just close it all up. One season done, everything's wrapped up, and we're good to go. But
They'll announce it at the gala. I'm the New York Ripper.
I don't think he's gonna do that. But you never know.
Well, he was emphasizing wheelchair accessibility. Maybe he knows the Ripper is in a wheelchair or something, wants him to roll out there. And
That feels very specific. I don't think he knows the Ripper's in a wheelchair, but maybe. Well, you want pizza bet me on that one?
No,
Taylor?
no, I'm not.
The Ripper's in a wheelchair? No.
hard
Okay.
no, hard no.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week to talk about everything that falls out from Dexter, the penultimate episode, and it won't be boring.
Bye.